Hey guys, it's the Black Critic Guy, and today I'm here to talk about something a little different, and I felt like I should address this to you guys, my subscribers, and to anybody that watch my videos and comment. So recently I've been getting a few comments, mainly from these two guys by the name of Snowfield667 and BoffinMe80, talking about, my stance on melodramatic animes, and, well, why do you hate this even though you like this? In fact, I think it was BoffinMe80 who says, well, if you said you don't like melodramatic animes, well, why you like Anohana? And also I've been getting a few requests, and a lot of you have been asking me to do this, to review Clinin. And I thought I would do this video to state my stance on melodramatic animes in its entirety, and melodrama in its entirety as well. And be warned, this will contain spoilers from different animes, so watch at your own discretion. First off, I want to just clarify, I never said I don't like melodramatic animes, nor do I hate melodrama. It's about the execution of the melodrama, that is it necessary or is it unnecessary? Every form of media needs drama to push it forward, to push the story forward. It's a necessary part. Every comedy has a drama part. Every thriller has drama. Stories have drama. Drama is a necessary part in the literary device of making a story compelling and interesting. To take that out of a story is to basically just break the story in half, because you can't move a plot forward by just being random and silly. You need some type of catalyst to push the story forward, and that's what drama is. So in my book, there are two types of dramas. The first one is this drama that you can relate to. It feels realistic and you can put yourself and empathize with the characters. I call them real life dramas. And then we got the really over-the-top, heightened dramas that basically circle around either a love story or a love triangle, which I declare melodramas. And to answer BoffinMe80's comment about, well, you said you don't really like melodrama, yet you clearly like Anohana, is because I categorize Anohana in the real-life drama category, because I felt like this was something that some people have gone through in their lives. All of us have experienced death and the loss of a friend and something like that. And I felt like the drama was not surrounded by just love. I mean, it was a catalyst that would lead to the drama, but it was actually about coping with the death of their friend that they really all cared about. Some of them loved her more than others. Others were kind of jealous of her. These are real human emotions that are portrayed in real life, and I really was attached to that. It wasn't like some crazy love triangle. It was real human emotions, and you really just look deep into these characters and how they were all scarred at the fact that they all felt responsible for this girl's death, their friend's death. And it just portrayed all these emotions that brings tears to my eyes every time I think about it. And the final scene in the anime where they all finally learn to let go and not blame themselves for her death, it was really touching, and I felt that was a powerful scene. Another one that you guys might call me out on is Honey and Clover. I really love that anime, and the reason I really loved it is because it was another realistic depiction of things that we all go through. And yes, it was a bit high, and some people might categorize it as a melodrama. I categorize it as a real-life drama because these are real situations that people go through. It dealt with the theme of unrequited love, which everybody has gone through once in their life, where you really love somebody, but they never showed the love back. They never had the same feelings. I have been through that road 1,000 times over, and I really related to the girl character who really liked the guy with the glasses, who never really liked her that way, only saw her as a friend. I related to that character. I related to the main guy character, because his best friend Shinobu, the girl that he likes him instead of himself, and it really just broke him down mentally because, well, now my life is over. My love is gone. I don't have no love. And again, it just felt more realistic. The depiction of this unrequited love is something we all go through, and it felt realistic in my book. And now we got Angel Beats, which I also categorize as a real-life drama, even though it takes place in a purgatory-like setting. And the reason for that is, again, you go through the motions of how these characters feel. You actually get a good understanding about the turmoils they went through in their lives that led them to stay in this purgatory-like state, because they have not gone over, feeling unaccomplished, feeling kind of empty because they didn't get to finish that one thing in their life that really meant a lot to them. Like they didn't even have the chance. And all of us have felt like that. You know, we feel regret for not being able to do what we really want to do, and later on when we look back at it, we're like, why didn't I take that chance? I had the opportunity, or maybe the opportunity was taken from us. Maybe we didn't get the chance to do it, and that's why we're stuck in a state of like, well, now I'm kind of sad and I don't want to go on. And in that, you really relate to these characters. You really do. And now we're going to discuss melodrama. Now, when talking about melodrama, I want to keep in mind that when I watch a melodramatic anime, personal taste really does play a huge part in whether or not I'm going to really like it. Like you all know, I'm a very happy-go-lucky kind of optimistic person. So melodramatic animes aren't really my thing, but there are some melodramatic animes that actually pull my interest in, and I feel like they compel, like they push the characters forward, they compel the characters forward, they push the story forward, and it really intrigues me. If it interests me, that's when I know I really like an anime. Animes that fall into the first category, I would say, would be Shuffle, which I just finished. There was a scene where Kaede couldn't get over the fact that Rin chose Asa over her, and she was going through this traumatic experience where she realized that she gave her whole life to Rin, and basically once Rin left, her life had no meaning anymore, and it pushed the story forward, and it pushed the character of Rin and Kaede forward as well, because now Kaede must learn to get over Rin and move on with her life. And also pushes the character of Rin to go out of that place because he's only causing more problems for Kaede, because she's never going to get over him if he stays there. He needs to get out. And when it propels the characters forward, that's good melodrama. I thought Shuffle did a really good job in that category. And now we got Air TV. Now the problem with Air TV isn't on the show. It's just, again, it goes back to personal taste. I didn't like how they executed the drama in this anime. I felt like it was way over the top. I didn't like how they executed the drama, basically. And I really didn't buy, you know, Yukito and Mikaru's relationship at all. I didn't buy any of the dramatic moments. It just wasn't my thing, and that's why it doesn't stand out to me and why I didn't really like it. And now for the big one, Clenin. Now, a lot of you have asked, begged, and pleaded for me to watch this anime. And to be honest with you guys, I've seen this anime before. Back in 2008, when I first started watching animes more frequently, one of my friends asked me to check it out, and I'm like, yeah, sure. I liked it for a couple of episodes, but when it got somewhere in the middle, things start to get a little dramatic. And one thing that makes me kind of not like melodramatic animes is how I really like how they start out to be very playful, very positive and upgoing, and then it just drags you down with it, and it makes you just sad and depressed and stuff. I mean, I'm a guy that if you want to stay one way, stay that one way and play it throughout. Like, have a couple of dramatic moments in there. With Clenin, it started off, it was very humble, it was very humorous, it was very funny, and then all of a sudden became extremely dramatic, and it took a turn for something I wasn't really into and I didn't expect. Had I expected that going in, I probably would have had a different mindset for Clenin. But because of my experience, I really don't want to watch Clenin again. It's not an anime that I would go out of my way like, man, I want to see that anime again. It's not one of those. It's probably an anime I watched once and then I never watch it again. And since I've already seen it once, I told myself I probably will never watch this again. But I might, just because you all have asked me to review it, and I don't really remember it that well, so I might give it a go. We'll see. And now we got animes with melodramatic tendencies that just took me right out of the anime. I didn't care for it. It made me lose interest. I wanted nothing to do with it after that. And the first one I want to start off with is School Days. Where do I begin with this one? Okay, I'm gonna make a comparison right here, okay? Now imagine that you're in your house, okay? And you have the mega blocks, those big mega block things, and you start like stacking it up and making an awesome picturesque tower. And you're really glad about how the tower turned out, right? And let's say your brother comes into the room wielding a bat and just went wham and destroyed the tower, and it comes crumbling down, and you're just like, wow, I wasted all that time, all that effort building this tower, and then my brother comes in with a bat, breaks it down, and I don't care anymore. I don't want to build it. I don't want to waste my time doing it again only for the bat to come back and break it down. That's exactly what School Day was. They took their time in building these characters up and making you like them, making you engaged to see where they go. You got connected to these characters, and all of a sudden, in comes the melodrama and went BAM! And it just came crumbling down. And you're just like, what's the point in caring for these characters anymore? Because all I know is that the melodrama is just gonna kick in again, and I'm not gonna care for these characters anymore. That's exactly what School Days is to me. And next we got Toradora. Now to me, Toradora felt like a bait and switch. What I mean by that is that they really highlight this anime to be a comedy. I mean, I saw trailers for it. I saw clips of it. People were telling me it was hilarious, it was funny. And for the first 10 episodes, it was. And then in comes the bat of melodrama and went wham! And I just stopped caring, and it got so intense. The melodrama just went so high that it just made me bored and uninterested. I didn't care anymore, and that's the main issue about all the melodramas that I say I don't like. It's just that it gets so thick that I don't care anymore, and it makes me lose interest. Now also keep in mind that there are other factors that make me not like some of these melodramatic animes. I mean, sometimes it's the characters, sometimes it's the story. It's just the melodrama does play a key factor, but it's not the main factor that causes me to hate all melodramatic animes. You know, like I said, I really like Shuffle. It had some melodramatic elements. There were some elements I didn't like about it, but I did like the melodrama in that it was handled well. And one of the animes that I actually gave a 4 out of 5 stars, and I really found it entertaining and all, but it just got ruined by some aspects, especially the melodrama, was Shakugan no Shana. Shakugan no Shana was an entertaining anime full of action, humor, and great character development of the two main characters. And then they throw in this other girl character that really liked the main guy character, and all of a sudden it became this love triangle. And I literally sat and thought to myself when making the review, was there any point to that love triangle? If that love triangle did not exist, would it ruin the flow of the anime? And guess what? No. The anime would have continued without disturbance if that love triangle never existed. The love triangle was therefore pointless. There was no point to put that love triangle in. They only threw it in there to add tension that did not even need to be there in the first place. And that is my stance on melodrama. I don't hate melodrama. If the melodrama pushes the story forward and elevates the characters to a new level of development, then I feel like the melodrama is necessary. But if there is no point to the melodrama, it just degrades all of the characters, pushes them back, makes them from likable to unlikable, or just is pointless and can be easily taken out of the series, that's when I have a problem with melodrama. Now I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this video. Do you agree with my points? Do you think I made my points very clear about my stance on melodrama and the difference between real life drama and melodrama? Please let me know. This is a discussion video for all of us to discuss and talk about this. Comment below and let me know. Anyway, I'm the Black Critic Guy, bridging the gap between movies and anime reviews. Till then, peace YouTube.